I mean, it's incredible when you think about Djokovic played with a torn meniscus, and he was still able to win that match the way he did. He was still able to raise his level at the end of the fourth set, into the fifth set. I mean, that's an injury that when it's a little bit warm, you can kind of play with it and it feels a little bit better, but it still creates tremendous instability. I've had it. I've had a few surgeries because of it. And at the end of the day, it will have to be addressed. Hopefully he doesn't need surgery, but a lot of times you do need arthroscopic surgery. And it's usually something you can come back from fairly quickly if everything goes right. But there's so many uncertainties, and you just think about where Djokovic is right now in his career. What does that mean for the rest of the year? It was already a bit of a struggle for him physically. So at this point, you want to be safe rather than sorry. I mean, he played an entire match with a torn meniscus. Did it make it worse playing the rest of that match? Who knows? But this is something he has to consider now, and it's tough for him and his team, and certainly we wish him the best and to get back healthy as quickly as possible.
Yeah, certainly. Wimbledon 3-4 weeks away, so we'll see if he's able to get to the All England Club and play there. But he told us that he had this knee injury throughout the tournament. It wasn't perfect. And in the second set is when he tweaked it yesterday. And as the MRI showed, he has now a tear in the medial meniscus, Prakash. But to Chanda's point, just the absolute warrior ability to play on a torn meniscus, not only that, but come back from 2-1 down and still win that match last night.
It was one of the greatest examples of mental and sort of spiritual toughness you'll see. Because I think most other players would have walked away. It is actually very similar to what Rafa did when he played Taylor at Wimbledon just a few years ago before he had to pull out of the semis against Nick Kyrgios. You just don't have that quit in you. You put your mind everywhere else except the actual pain. What can I do versus what I can't do? And it was remarkable the way he was able to fight and come through. It's just when you kind of take a step back, you now see what's happening with the ranking with Yannick Sinner moving forward into #1 and Carlos Alcaraz, everyone else stepping forward. It would have been beautiful, I think, even for Novak Djokovic, if he was going to go out of this tournament, be beaten by a better man on the day. This is a very sad way for all of us to see him go out, and I'm sure he feels exactly that way.
Yeah, it's one more notch in what's been a tough year for Novak Djokovic. Some bright spots, certainly. But this is something you just wonder, how much time will he need? How much time will he have to take to get it 100%? Will he need surgery? It's one of those injuries where it creates instability. You have trouble pushing off. And so we saw him in that match last night struggle to get kind of out of the corners and over to the other side of the court to run for drop shots. It's that kind of injury. So you've got to get it right for him to come back and play the kind of tennis he knows he needs to play. And I just wonder how long that's going to be for him. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
So it's the first time now in 20 years that none of the big three will be in the final at Roland Garros. And what does that mean? It means that we are guaranteed a first-time Roland Garros champion on the men's side, Prakash.
That's going to be very special. Ironically now, Casper Ruud moving into the semifinals. Stefanos Tsitsipas, of course, plays later tonight, who's been a finalist as well. But Casper Ruud has the most experience right now. He's been to a couple finals there. You got Sasha Zverev, who's still in, perhaps still maybe the biggest favorite on that side of the draw, but he's at a couple five-setters. De Minaur's looking hungry. We've got to see if Alcaraz can continue to have the key against Tsitsipas to take on Sinner. Absolutely anyone's ball game right now, which is my favorite kind of draw to be able to take a look at.
Anytime, I mean, look, nobody wishes anybody any harm or any injuries, but anytime you have Novak Djokovic out of the draw for any reason, now everybody's taking notice and saying, you know, why not me? And certainly a player like Ruud, who's already been to a couple of finals, or Tsitsipas, who has had a resurgence, is playing some of the best tennis he's played in a while. And of course, on the other side, you've got Sinner, who has just been incredible. Alcaraz, I mean, it's anybody's ball game, and it's kind of exciting from that standpoint. I mean, we all wish Djokovic would have continued, could have followed up those couple of incredible wins, but what an opportunity for these young guys now.
When one door closes, you know what they say, another opens. And we talked heading into this tournament, it was going to be the most wide open draw on the men's side that we have seen in years. And that's exactly how it's played out. Guaranteed a first-time champion on the men's side.